everyone, and thanks for joining me for another special health-focused Tai Chi and Qigong class. I'm just going to speak very briefly about something we were talking about just before we began the recording, and that is localized bouts of arthritis. I recently had a student in a private lesson who had had a flare-up of gout, and that is a version of arthritis, if you like, a very painful thing that can affect the extremities, the feet often, and possibly the hands, but I suppose it could affect anywhere. Again, I'll just stress, I am not a doctor, but I have a vested interest in all things holistic, ways of helping us maintain comfort and well-being, shall we say. And something that I've come across years ago and does seem to have great effect is Savoy cabbage. And you might think, oh, you want me to eat Savoy cabbage? No, actually you could. You could eat it, and it's a very good and nutritious green, and it does have anti-inflammatory properties, as does the rest of the brassica family. Lots of greens can really help alkaline your system and reduce inflammation. But in this particular nugget of information, I'm going to suggest that you actually take your leaves of Savoy cabbage, give them a wee wash, dry them off, and then wrap them around the affected area. And just, you could put a sock or a mitten or, you know, a loose bandage around the area just to hold them in. So for example, if it was your knees, if your knees had swollen up, you could take a pair of leggings and put your Savoy cabbage around the affected area and then put the leggings on top to just hold it into position and leave them on basically all day or as long as you can comfortably manage. And it does seem to have a great anti-inflammatory reaction. It helps reduce the inflammation and encourage a more comfortable area in the body. So this has been known for generations, apparently. It is an old remedy, and it was very much used in midwifery for ladies who were breastfeeding and were overproducing milk, and they were getting very tender and very sore in the whole chest area. And so they were encouraged to put a Savoy cabbage leaf into each cup of their undergarments, and that did the trick. It reduced the milk production, and it reduced the swelling, and it gave them some relief. So much so that some of them got a bit over enthusiastic about this relief, and they actually dried up their milk production altogether. So if you have any relatives or if you yourself are breastfeeding and that's an issue, you can use it, but it seems to be more versatile than that, and you can actually use it on any inflamed and irritated area. And I was saying to my student with the gout, his gout had subsided, and so I said, look, try it now, because with gout it could be, you know, you just can't bear even to be touched in the area. It can be so painful. So in such cases, you know, use your wits, and if it's too painful to touch, then it probably won't be comfortable to start wrapping cabbage around it. But I would say it's non-invasive, and there are no contraindications to topically applied cabbage. So really, there's nothing to lose. Yeah, you may, at the very most, you may end up smelling slightly of cabbage as it cooks gently against your skin. So I would encourage you to do that. In general, don't let yourself become dehydrated. That is across the board an issue for many people if they just don't drink at all during the day. And we tend towards drier foods, perhaps things with crunch, but actually the body really requires lubrication. It requires fluid in the body, like we're 70% water or so, depending on our age. So just keep your fluids up and avoid caffeine and sugar, basically, if you're having an inflammatory response, because it can make it worse. And I know people who've said, oh, well, I don't drink coffee. Actually, tea is just as high in caffeine as coffee, well, depending on the kind of coffee. So just be a bit canny about that. Also, like fizzy drinks, your Coca-Colas, The fizz is introduced by carbon dioxide pumped into it, which creates a mild acid in the drink, and so that can acidify your system. So sodas are not the best if you're having a flare-up of arthritis. So flat drinks are better if you can. So I hope that has been helpful. Let's get up and let's start our Tai Chi practice, please. I love Savoy cabbage, so I buy it thinking, yeah, I might wrap it around something. I end up eating it. But, either way, it's good in both ways. Let's take right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight and pull back the thumb, bringing the feet together, the hands together, and let's press forwards. Very good. Release, relax down, and let's open our stance. And we're going to do a little bit of rotation into the four corners with the hips. We're looking at the vertical spiral, and you might think, what? This means that as you're turning in your center, you're allowing movement to flow up and down through the rest of your body, not holding it still. And you can even allow your neck to very gently loosen so the head moves a little bit. Breathe. Good, let's change direction. Very good. Let's come back into the center and float up through the top of the head, releasing, relaxing down through your body. Well done. We're going to do a little turn, keeping the knees off the lock, letting the shoulders really release. So the arm movement is completely just a byproduct of turning your center. You can control your arms a little bit. I've had arthritic pains in my hands many times, sometimes much more extreme than others. And at the worst of it, I found that this movement, it was actually painful to allow my hands to collide with my body. In which case, what I would do is I would actually just put the brakes on with the arms at the end of the movement like this, so they weren't actually hitting the body. Yeah, you see that? And we can even slow it down further, and then we go into, is it Chen Manqing's, Chen Fako's exercise, which is a sensitivity practice. So it's the same movement, but we're softening it and slowing it so that really we're listening and feeling into the hands. And that encourages energy flow into the hands, which encourages healing. Very good. Let's come back to center, and we're just going to do some shoulder moves. I was speaking with a colleague of mine. I was in training there last weekend. It's amazing. 12 hours of Tai Chi over 2 days. It's very intense. But one of my friends there is an acupuncturist. And I was saying to her that in the morning, sometimes I would wake up and my hands would be very hot, but also swollen, arthritic, just not particularly happy. Change direction, please. And I think on Saturday, it was at that point that I was going, oh, my hands, they're sore. And my husband said, well, would you like some Reiki? Reiki is an energy healing practice. And I said, well, yeah, okay. And I was thinking, well, surely they're already full of energy because they're so hot, you know. But there is a difference between a kind of irritated heat. There was a word my friend used for it, similar to irritated, just, you know, a nagging heat as opposed to a healing heat. So if energy is just kind of rumbling away, your hands may be full of energy, but they're not actually healing. Because what I found was when my husband did some Reiki, so he wasn't even, well, he was maybe touching my hands, but very gently. Yes, I felt that there was an energy flow, but it did feel soothing, and afterwards my hands felt better. And it is confusing if you do Tai Chi, I think, because we're always saying if energy can flow, then healing will take place. And if there's stagnation, that's when imbalances can occur. So I think perhaps there was stagnation. There was lots of energy in my hands, but it was stuck, and therefore it was irritating. Let's change direction again, please, one at a time. So Tai Chi definitely helps. I find my hands feel better and my body feels better just by doing a few minutes practice. Hopefully you feel the same way. Good, let's come back to center. We're going to take a deep breath and lift. And let go, and again, deep breath, lift. And one more time, deep breath, lift. And relax down. Very good. Easing from your stance, please, everyone. Have a little shake out. We have to work with our body as it is at that moment and see how it responds. So as I said, sometimes hitting your body, even though in general it's considered very good, you know, you're not trying to hurt yourself, you're just patting your body. But sometimes that could be a little bit sore. And I think the same may be true with shaking. I remember one time I got my finger caught in the vacuum cleaner. It snapped back into place and it took my finger with it. And I ended up in a brace for a month or so until it had healed. But my initial reaction was to shake it off, just to, oh, ow, and the shaking was not, not the right thing to do at that point in time. But you never know until you try. So let's try a little bit of a shake out. We'll keep it nice and soft. We lengthen through the top of the head, deep breath, and over to one side. And let's do a little twist and shake. Hopefully you can see in this footage that I'm not really, you know, going for it. It is a soft movement. And I'm really just seeing if I can encourage the structures to release. That's all. So we want the muscles, everything to just soften and let go a little bit. Good, let's take a deep breath. Lengthen through the top of the spine, through the top of the head, over to the other side, and we'll do the same thing. I love this exercise. I feel it really works. Everything feels looser, the whole body, the entire structure of the fascia all seems to release. And that's the nature of the body. If you can get one part to relax, everything will relax. Keep breathing. Good, and float up. Breathing in and relax down. Good, okay. Today I just want to touch as briefly as I can on standing practice structure, because I mean I've been at this about 26 years, Tai Chi, and in standing practice I had got the impression that you wanted your knees to be about above the knuckles of the foot, so the metatarsal arch. But as I have progressed, and in recent years, I found that when the masters gave me hands-on correction, they'd bring me up and bring me right back and down. And I always felt like I was tipping back on my heels. And again, in training at the weekend, we were discussing this, and we did a really beautiful standing practice workshop with our standing practice teacher, who really has specialised. He does at least 2 hours standing a day and has done for I don't know how long, 26 more years. So what he was saying is that often the masters will bring you up. That's the first thing, because when we go into our posture, things aren't quite right. So they always lift us up. They never try to correct things, you know, in our depth of structure. So they always bring us up, which brings the knees back. And then they'll tend to bring us back and then sit us down again. And what Jay, our standing teacher, was saying was that you really want to be able to look down and see your feet. So actually you're bringing your weight right back onto the heels. Your hips are above your heels. And I said to him, well, I thought you should have your weight equally distributed across your feet. And he says, yes, that's right. And I went, well, if you're bringing your weight back and your knees are back and you're sitting down, the weight's going onto your heels, how on earth do you get it to spread equally across the feet? And his response was, yes, you relax. I was like, oh. So, you know, it has been information that has been dawning on me for some time, I'd say a good 6 or 7 years, because they kept bringing me back onto my heels, And of course, if you do that, I suggest keeping your stance high, so you're not trying to do it, you know, in a really deep stance until you're strong. But if you keep your stance high and keep your weight back a little bit and release, relax down. So really you want your tailbone and your back to hang down behind your heels slightly, but that protects your knees. Very much protects your knees. It is a game changer for your knees. So if you're doing standing practice, I suggest you play with that a little bit. Make sure you're releasing and relaxing down over the front and the back. And you want to be able to look down and see your feet. If your knees are forwards enough, you might be able to see your toes. That's actually too far forwards and the weight is sticking in the knees. So bring it up, bring it back, relax down. You'll feel it on the heels, then let it spread across your toes. You might think to me, yeah, that's fine, Jane, but I don't practice standing practice. Fair enough. I'd like to encourage you to do a little bit, even if it's just a couple of minutes in a day. But next time you're stood at the supermarket in the queue or at the bus stop, pop your bags down, float the top of the head, release, relax down through the body, and see if you can unlock the knees, but sit the whole of your back slightly, and then think of pouring down and spreading out into your feet and see how you feel. So just a wee word about that. Hopefully you were doing that with me as I was talking about it. We're going to move on. So that was theory. I want you to play with it. Be careful, you know, and as I say, you feel like you're tipping back. So have the back of a chair handy or a countertop, so that at any stage, if you do feel yourself going, you can just put your hands down and fix. Good. All right. Open door 5, please. Okay. So we're going to start in the open position, shoulder width. I'd like you to feel gently up to the crown of your head with soft focus. Gently floating that point upwards. And bring the chin slightly down and back. Releasing over your head, your neck and shoulders, and all the way down through your body. At this stage, you can stand with your legs absolutely straight. This is Wuji. So we just want to stand comfortably, but in good stance. Feeling down into your feet, Feel all four corners of your feet. Allow the tension to pour down through the feet, into the floor and away. And let's find all 10 fingers, gently lengthening them down. Think of pressing the fingers into the floor. And let's begin. Let's just do one of each. So we press down and away. Pausing level with the waistline, breathe. And let's turn the palms and give your back a wee rub. Let's do it again. If you can do it seated, that's no problem. I'm going to come closer so that you can see what we're doing. I'd like you please to listen and feel your way, especially with your palms. So feel for little areas where there is like a resistance in the air. It is, if you think of a magnet, if you do an experiment, get a piece of paper, put a magnet underneath and throw iron filings on top of the paper, you will see the iron filings do this amazing pattern. It's like a figure of 8 billowing out, like 2 parallel ripples. That's the magnetic field. Well, your body, your system is also slightly electric, slightly magnetic. We have these fields, these energetic fields that surround us, and you can actually feel them with enough listening. You can start to feel interesting things going on around your body. So you'll notice that there is this kind of barrier at about waist height. So we keep coming to that barrier, feel for that. You'll also feel the barrier, if I get the chair here, you'll also feel the barrier like the inside of the bubble, so to speak. So this lifting up and running your hands around the inside of the bubble. So that's something that I see a lot of people just kind of burst the bubble and stretch their arms out to the side. But I would like you to actually think, if you can, try to turn the palms fully so that they're facing out, and think of running your hand round the surface of the inside of the bubble. So it's much more contained. And if you feel for it, hopefully you will find it. You'll find that sensation of resistance. It's your own electromagnetic field that you're interacting with. But if you don't feel anything, don't worry. You're still impacting your body in a very beneficial way. It's a lovely, tasty treat to actually interact and connect with your own energetic field. So if you can feel it, it's lovely. If you can't feel it, don't worry, but feel for it. It's not the Emperor's New Clothing. You're not producing a feeling through listening for it. No, but where the mind goes, the energy follows. So let's try it again. I'm going to do it seated. You can sit or stand, whatever you prefer. It's exactly the same move. Ready? We float up. Yeah, just take your time. The chin slightly down and back. And release, relax down. Calm down. Listen behind. Ready? Let's begin. Feel for the inside of the bubble. Keep it contained. Rest level with your waistline. Feeling into your belly and into your kidneys, the small of the back. Let's turn the palms and give your back a wee rub. Lovely. Well done, everybody. Relax down. Good. I'd invite you to come and sit with me now, please. We're going to do a little relaxation before we go on to our next physical movement. And today I want to have a little look at step back, twist upper arm, which in Yang style is known as step back, repulse monkey. But before we do, we're going to do a little exercise on the Dandian pump, if you like. So, when we're practicing our Qigong and our Tai Chi, we are using the energy that is readily available in our body. We're using potential energy from our body, which is called Jing. Jing sometimes directly translated means egg or sperm. It's the energy that we're born with and also the energy that is stored. We then talk about Qi. Qi is your vitality, your life force. Think of it, Jing is the firewood and Qi is the wood being burned and used. It's the vital force that is actually expressing itself through your body as you live. Then there's another thing called Sun. Now, Sun is your consciousness. So conscious energy, the energy that is in the mind. So together you could say that you have Jing, the store of energy, the wood, Qi, which is the actual energy expressing, like burning wood, and then we have Sun, which is like smoke. It's the experience, it is wisdom or intelligence that comes about through life, through living life. And it's also our focused intent is known as Sun. Okay, so today we're going to look a little bit at how to promote building energy. So rebuilding that store of wood, if you like, replenishing the Jing. And it is possible. So when we are born, we're full of life force potential, but we haven't burnt much of it yet, and we have no experience. At the end of life, with very little potential left, we have very little life expressing itself, but we have a lifetime of experience. So we have lots of Sun, but very little Jing. Jing is the only one that you can replenish. You can replenish, but if you replenish Jing, then you'll have more Qi. I hope this is making some sense to you. So I'm going to talk about, we're going to practice a way to replenish Qi. So obviously food will give you energy, and breathing gives us energy, allows us to combust, literally to burn the energy. But we also bring in energy from the environment. Sunshine gives us energy, fresh air, fresh environment gives us energy. And the earth also gives us energy. So we're going to think in terms of going from the Hui Yin, which is the pressure point at the very base of the body between the legs, and the Dandian. So it's a very small distance. And we're just going to breathe between the two. And what that does, it acts as a pump to draw energy into the Dandian. It helps to focus energy into our core, which gives you more energy. It builds your reserves. So let's get on with it. Okay, so plant your feet to the floor, please. Lengthen up through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. If it's comfortable to do so, you can close your eyes or just gently gaze ahead. And just for a moment, do nothing, simply be. Allow yourself to arrive here and now, being conscious of what's happening moment to moment. Be aware of your breath. Be aware of your body. Be aware of your surroundings. Let's bring the awareness into the air around your body, filling the space, your room, and even through the building. Just be aware of the sky, the endless expanse all around you. Good. Now let's bring the awareness from that, letting go of that thought, bring the awareness down into your feet and listen with your feet into the floor beneath you. Notice the surface, the texture, the temperature of the floor. And just like the ears can listen to the ticking of a clock at the other end of the room, so our feet can listen and feel for vibration, for texture, for sensation deeper than just the earth that you're touching. So let's feel down a little bit deeper, feel into the floor itself. Bring your awareness down into the foundation of the building and down into the earth, the clay, the stones beneath. You might not be able to feel anything, that's okay, but listen, feel for it, feel your way down. Bring your awareness deep into the earth. And at about 6 feet of listening and feeling down into the earth, we start to draw in energy from the earth in a more substantial way. So there's energy coming into us from above, there's also energy coming into us from beneath. The environment supports our existence. Now let's let go of that thought and start to listen to our actual physical system. We can do a gentle swipe from the top of the head, pouring the awareness down, Little body scan over the front and back, down over the sides, releasing, relaxing all the way down through the body, down through the legs, down into the feet, down into the floor. It can literally be that fast. You're just letting go, like someone has poured a shower of water over you. You just follow the flow all the way down. And let go into the floor. For now, let's draw the awareness gently up to the dantian. Now, the dantian is in the very center of your belly. It's a little bit lower than your belly button. And there is a point literally between the two legs. In English, we call it the perineum. In Chinese, it's called the hui yin. And it's the polar opposite to the very top of your head, to the bai hui. We spend a lot of time floating up the top of the head, bringing the awareness up to the top. But actually, the perineum is just as important. We need to balance yin and yang. So we relax down, and the weight naturally will pull at that point, at the weigh-in point, before it then spreads across the legs and goes down. So I'd like you to bring your awareness to the point between your two legs, right underneath the very center of your body. And as you breathe, I'd like you to float your awareness from there up to the very center of your belly, and then back down to the perineum. Very gentle, guiding your mind from the base of your body to the middle of your belly and down again with each breath. Now, as I breathe in, I draw up to the center of the belly. As I breathe out, I let go down to the perineum and continue. It's the softest, gentlest of thoughts. We're not forcing, we're simply nudging our awareness, which in turn nudges the energy. Gently float up to the center of the belly and let go, relax back down to the perineum. Breathing in, float up. Breathing out, relax down. Breathing in, float up. Breathing out, relax down. Keep going, please. Now, this will, of course, strengthen the organs in this area. It may also cause you to pass gas. I found that the first time I did it, I started farting, which was a little embarrassing in class, but it can just happen. It's promoting energy flow. So if there is any trapped wind in there, it may well make its way out. Don't worry about it. You can have a laugh to yourself as it happens, but keep the gentle flow, awareness to dantian, center of the belly, and awareness to the point between your two legs. Keep breathing, relaxing into the flow. Let's do it one more time. Breathing in, gliding up to the center of the belly, breathing out, letting go down to the point between the two legs. Well done. Let's very gently release and open the mind, the awareness to the whole body. Just breathe and feel into your whole body and notice how it feels now. Even teaching this, I feel my whole body has relaxed. Very relaxing practice. It has that sort of metronome type quality. It keeps a rhythm, which in itself is very relaxing. So let's one more time draw the awareness gently into the belly and draw the hands in to cover your center as well. Hugging your elbows gently in and just feeling the warmth, the touch of your hands, guiding your awareness into your center. You maybe even feel heat in the back, in the small of the back, in the kidneys. Remember, the kidneys are the sort of physical storage unit for your qi. So they're like your woodshed. They're helping to store all that energy when the dandian is no longer in existence. The dandian only exists in perfect alignment when we're practicing our Tai Chi. So the kidneys do the job of storing energy as well as filtering water the rest of the time. Feel that warmth. Feel the quality of gathered energy. Feel your energy is stronger. Very good. Let's very gently ease from our stance, wiggling fingers, wiggling toes, a little bit of movement, a little bit of stretching. Bring your awareness, please, back to your surroundings, to your room or your space. And when you're ready, slowly and gently open your eyes. Very nice. Good. I hope you enjoyed that. Personally, I believe that that exercise is safer than the likes of the microcosmic orbit practice if you are in a state where your system is somewhat fragile. The microcosmic orbit is when you're breathing in and focusing on the energy traveling all the way up over the back, up the back and over the head. And as you breathe out, it goes all the way down again. So it's doing a full circuit of your body. And many instances I have read and I've heard teachers saying, look, if you're not particularly healthy, the microcosmic orbit maybe isn't the best exercise for you, because it's kind of like a circuit board and it pours a lot of energy around that circuit board. So if there are little loose connections or if things aren't quite the way they should be, actually surging that amount of energy around your whole body can be less than perfectly safe. You could end up not getting full benefit from it. However, this exercise is really just focusing on recharging your battery. It's not worrying about circulating, it's not going up over your head. So, there's no concern about, popping anything or anything scary. It's simply going to help you really raise your energy a little bit. And I think that's a great exercise for pretty much all of us. Certainly once you're over your teens, it's good to recharge that battery pack. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like all practice, it can take a little bit of practice to get used to it, to settle into it, to get more benefits. The more comfortable we are with the practice, I think the more the benefits really blossom within you. So if you thought, well, I didn't really feel much, what was your first attempt? Try it for a week every day and see how you feel afterwards. Good, let's get up and do a little bit of repulse. It's not repulse monkey, that's the yang version. Twist upper arm. Twist upper arm doesn't roll off the tongue quite as easily, but it's the same, basically the same move. Okay. So this is a stepping backwards move. So if you have mobility issues, if you have balance issues, it is challenging. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't attempt it, but maybe have some safety procedures in place. For example, if you have a countertop or a wall next to you, so if you do feel unsteady, you can put your hand out and support yourself. That's maybe advisable, I think so. But the footwork is really quite basic. For Chen style, because we're looking at the 9 step, aren't we? For Chen style, we're going to have parallel feet if you can. It's very tempting to turn out the back foot, and Yang style encourages turn out the back foot. It's easier to balance. But Chen style, we don't pander for comfort. If you need to turn out, but aim for parallel feet. So we're going to bring the front foot in, and we're going to step it out. So notice we're not just stepping in a straight line backwards. We're actually going in, and then we're going to shoulder width to put the foot down. And that will help us balance. Touch the toe, roll the foot down, and once the heel touches the ground, then you can feed the weight back. When the front foot is empty and the back foot is full, we repeat. We come in through center, and we go out to shoulder width. We touch the toe, we roll the foot down, lots of control. We're always, we're relaxed, but we're in control. Feed the weight back, front foot is empty, back foot is full, and come in. Good, let's try that again, please. So this bit hasn't changed. So we're going to step, relax down, feed the weight back, and come in. Now we're listening and feeling with our feet. This increases energetic flow to the feet and sensitivity and awareness. Roll it down, feed it back, and come in, touch, roll it down, feed it back, and come in. Very good, and rest. Now, as I say, I know some of you might find that quite intimidating and scary. You can do smaller steps, which means less distance to go. Just try it. If it gives you the heebie-jeebies, leave it out, that's fine. What I'd like to show you with the arms, I had been doing this, everything drawing in together, but actually I got a recent correction. Let's see, everything drawing in together. I got a recent correction that it's yin and yang. So we're turning, and as one hand is coming in, the other is actually extending slightly. So the one up to your ear comes in, and the one that's forwards actually extends. And right enough, Master Chen often would come around and pull our arms forwards at that stage. And then as you touch the foot back, that's when we turn and do our press. And think of sitting the bottom down. So you're not just touching and feeding back, you're sitting into it. And that helps you to lower your center of gravity and to feel confident and stable. So again, we turn, and as one hand comes up to the ear, the other is slightly extending forwards. It's still a little bit bent. You want about a 30% bend. It's not straight, but one is bent, one is straighter. And bring the foot in, touch, and only then do we turn the front palm and sit into the back leg and relax down. So let's try that together, shall we? So I'm going to start really quite close to you. I'll do it front view, and then we'll do it back view, and that'll pretty much be it time-wise. So if you can refer to earlier classes and go through the whole form again, please. Okay, ready? So where do we start? Here. And we're going to swing your right hand back and up to the ear. So one hand is bent in, the other's extending forwards. We're going to step back with the left, and that's when the arms press apart, and sit into the back hip. Good, continue, turn, and one arm up to the ear, the other arm is extending. Foot in, step back, now turn the front palm, feeding the weight back, and sit into the back hip. Good, continue, turn, extend the front arm, step, and press apart. Turn, extending the front arm, touch, and feed the weight back. Good, turn, extending the front arm, touch, feed the weight back. Sitting into the back leg, into the hip, turn, extend the front arm, touch, and feed the weight back. Well done, and rest. Good, let's do it again. If you want to come to the front of your space, and I'm going to come towards you. Ready? So we are standing on our right. We're filling our back, so our knees aren't way forwards. Right hand swings down and up. Extend the front arm, step. Turn the palm, sit back. Turn, extend the front arm, step, and turn the front hand. Keep going. Good. Relax. Take a breath. Very well done. So if stepping back is really an issue, you can leave the step back and just do the arms. In fact, let's just do the arms. I'm going to show you the side view and see if that helps. Often if I'm given a correction, I need to go through it a couple of 100 times before I truly absorb it properly. Otherwise, it kind of sort of absorbs and then over time dissipates again. So let's try it. We're going to start. I'm not going to do the leg work, just the arms. Ready? So we turn, extend the front arm as you step. That's when you press, and we sit into the hips. Turn, extend the front arm. That's when you step, sit into the hips. Well done, and rest. Good job, take a breath. Very good. All right. Yeah, I really kind of want to do the whole form with you. We're kind of pushing it time-wise, so let's wind down now. Let's do our warm down. But if you can, folks, soon, like today, try and look at the 9-step and just revise it and see if you can integrate it. So let's do a wee warm down. We're going to turn center and pat. Good, let's come down to the legs, the knees, lower legs, ankles and feet, up the body again. Good. Let's see if we can go over the shoulders. My body always at the end of class says, yeah, you were holding tension in the shoulders, Jane. Oh, okay. Warm down is a good critic. The body tells you maybe what you need to concentrate on next time. Let's come back down the body. Good, and a little shake out. Lovely. Let's take 3 breaths, please. We're going to float up and relax down. Feeling into the sky. Relax down. Feeling into the earth. Let's take 1 more breath. Deep breath, fill your lungs. Suspend your breath, please. Press your fingers into the sky, press your toes down into the earth and feel into your body. Think of sealing in that good energy. Now release, relax, breathing out, guiding your hands to cover center. Let's hug the elbows gently in, and just for a moment, feel to the very center of your belly, that center point again. Feel your energy is stronger. Very good, well done. Release, relax down. And let's finish. We'll salute, right hand in fist, left hand straight together and press forwards. Folks, have a play with what we did today, please. Use the video and practice your relaxation going from the base of your body to the dantian and down again. That little space, it really develops the dantian, it really draws energy in to make you stronger. Well done, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time.